Well, good afternoon, world. I'm gonna try to put a bunch of stuff together in my mind, and I usually like to do that speaking out loud. So I tend to do a lot of praying out loud and thought. It's hard for me to write it down because I have I think a form of dyslexia. Never diagnosed, not one bit. I grew up in a time when your parents just slapped you and said, "Hey, you better get your homework done and concentrate in school, or I'm gonna whoop your ass." And yeah, I got a lot of ass whoopings when I was younger, but it's very hard for me to concentrate and write. And surprisingly, one of the great things about the military used to be when I was in the field, when I was in war, all my commands were spoken, you know, and not until afterwards did I have to write them down for after action reports and all that stuff. Everything has to be documented, and rightly so. But what comes out of your mouth should still be the most important thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I think if you looked at, let's just say, a voice confession or a voice prayer of mine compared to a written one. Now, I know there's all kinds of punctuation and stuff in writing to convey emotion, and certain words convey emotion, but it's come to my knowledge, especially a lot in the recent years, that just because a word has great emotion, or by using a big word has a great effect on me, it doesn't have a great effect on somebody that doesn't understand what the heck the word was I was saying. So do you understand what I'm saying? When I say big words to my kids, and it doesn't mean I stop doing that, but it also means that I didn't convey myself in a way they could understand. I conveyed myself in a way that I know. And yeah, so it's a lot like the written word, and I don't do well with the written word because my mind tends to think, why do we need punctuation? I don't stop and say period at the end of conversation that I have, or you could say the way I talk is a lot like a run-on sentence, and a lot of times it gets it gets really misunderstood also. So that's why I tend to do a lot of writing and speaking, more speaking, so because I'm a New Yorker, eh? I love to talk. And it might be a little narcissistic of me to hear my own voice, but it's also a way if you can communicate your thought or your feelings and somebody else gets it, then that gives you a sign that you might be right about something. Now, that isn't always the case because some things require a lot of for lack of a better word, being submissive to an idea so that you can understand somebody else's point of view. It doesn't mean that you're submissive to them and you don't also try to add in your own thoughts as you're going along with listening to somebody else's opinion on something. But you both have to have that acceptance as well. You can't just automatically go into the conversation. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of conversations you can go into. You know what? You can always go into a conversation like that. But knowing that there's only one real truth, and that's God's love. And call me kooky, call me what you will, call me religious, call me godly, whatever you want to call me an idiot. But you can't end up with nothing. You can't die and just be nothing. That's it. You can't die and just be nothing. Because whether you believe in God or not, everybody came from something. Everything came from something. The grass came from the seed because of the sun and the water. You came from something, a man and a woman. You can't have one without the other, and a big argument on which one comes first. And I've heard a lot of philosophies on both sides, but if you just realize that he came first, because he created it all, it kind of solves all the answers to which one came first. God created man and then woman. And he knew that something that had to be a vessel to carry a new life, be something like a woman that had more power than they will ever know, because it's born into us. It's God's will to know the vulnerability of a creation, such as anything, but especially human beings. A thing that can, with very limited time, if you really think about it, can go from screaming for food all the time and sleeping to something that my 8-year-old up until like 3 o'clock in the morning again. Just weird hormone swings. I mean, and he knows huge words and stuff like that. Yes, he has a speech impediment, but he's super smart. You know, we homeschool him, all that. And like, I'm just saying, words are important. Speaking is important, but listening and trying to be, like I said, for lack of a better word, submissive and open, that the other person is going to try to relay their point, and you're going to try to relay your point. And you're both going to come out of it either the same or better. So I'm always saying one step in front of the other, just a little better, just knowing to myself that I'm not a good man. But at least I'm one step closer. So I was gonna go also into and this actually does lead into it. It's good because I was watching this video about back when Trump and Hillary were running for president. And it was funny. It was like Hillary has way more power than Biden. You know what I'm saying? She has Bill's balls now because she's allowed him to be this try not to hate everyone or anyone. This horrid man that has always hidden kind of behind the Southern boy, God-loving Christian or Catholic. I don't know what he is. I would have to say he probably just sits there smiling because God loves him, even though he knows that he's not gonna be worthy to be with him, be with his Father, his true Father in heaven, because he's going to have to pay for his sins, and I'm talking about the moral sins, and and the funny thing is that everybody's always saying that Donald Trump is racist and Donald Trump is sexist and all this stuff like that, and maybe so. I don't know him personally. I watched what he said. I've seen what they've tried to get him for. Pretty smart. Well, I think I am. Most people say I wouldn't, but anyways, even that whole thing about grabbing that woman's crotch, and believe me, being in the military and also working with females in combat situations, a lot of them, because CBs have a lot of females in combat, and or did. I don't even really know what the CBs are doing anymore. I have a buddy that's still in. A bunch of buddies that are still in. Anyways, it's funny to me how he's never, even when back in the day when he was running for president the first time, he was just like, he came out and saying, she's like, you didn't pay any taxes, and he was like, I know, I did exactly what you do. I used your tax laws to basically not pay taxes. Doesn't mean he didn't, that's the funny thing, is not pay income taxes. But I would probably have to say that Trump probably doesn't even, I could be wrong, but he probably doesn't even give himself a salary, because that would be stupid. And if he does, he's rightly so, he does enough because he already pays. Believe me, you all don't realize how much big companies like that pay out in taxes. Not income taxes, because income taxes don't really go to anything, because we end up giving it all back to the person who paid him in the first place, or we give them to some government program. So they don't really do anything to better anything. They're just like, here's something for nothing. I get it. I love giving to people for nothing. Needy people that I can see, that I'm not going through another agency to help. I'm trying to help the people that I see. I'm not saying everybody do that, but if we just do better in that, and then realize that even though he was running for president the first time, and even though all that stuff, he never said, I didn't do that, on stuff that he knew he did. And Hillary, early on in her career, because yeah, she was a lawyer too. So was Bill. Bill couldn't even practice law anymore when he was governor. And then, I think it was governor. It might not even been governor. It might have been senator of, I think it was Arkansas or some crap like that. Crazy, because they're deep-rooted in New York. Boy, are they deep-rooted. You think they'd be deep-rooted in Arkansas and stuff. No, they're deep-rooted in New York. Yeah, that's where all the money is, people. Yep. It's kind of funny how an island that we bought from the Native Americans for $25 and gold, or I think it was silver, because Native Americans didn't even like gold because it's pretty useless as a as a metal other than in technology. And that is what we use as our standard of currency. Like, everything's backed by gold supposedly, but is it really? No. Or is it just the fact that that money is a way of determining everything we do? You know what I'm saying? It's a way to buy and sell your work. So I do an amount of work to do something for you, because you bought it. You pay me that amount of money. I agree that that's the amount of money that I did work for. And then I go and take care of my family. And then I buy stuff with that. You get what I'm saying? It's trickle-down economics. Not in the large scale that you're talking about, but it also works there too. You let companies pay less taxes, income taxes, because they never talk about the other taxes, just income taxes. And then you actually listen to what people say, that yes, we are not perfect. Yes, we do make mistakes. Yes, women also say horrific things about men in locker rooms and other places. And in the open, I saw a video on YouTube, not Pornhub or anything like that, on YouTube that's had, and it was off of like NBC News or something like that. Anyways, she's in San Francisco, half naked, painted in the rainbow flag, up on top of a public water fountain with the water running, and she's rubbing her butthole on the thing. And this is on the local news or the national news at night, and a clip on YouTube. Yeah. Trump talking about grabbing a woman's crotch. And believe me, there's a lot of women out there that like that crap. And it's not even like they like that crap with their married husband. They like that crap with everyone. That's why porn and all that stuff is so crazy right now. All I'm trying to say is Trump has admitted to the stuff that he's done wrong. And even though we all have been telling you for years how bad Hillary was, and that she even got fired from the Watergate trials for misconduct and tampering with stuff. I'm not exactly sure what the whole thing is, but I know. Look it up. Look at what she looked like back in the day. Black and white photo. That's how old that crap was. Do you realize how deep-rooted Biden and all these people were? They're deep-rooted. It was black and white was the majority of TVs back then, and photos. You would not know, and I didn't know, it was Hillary Clinton. Or did I know that she got fired from that until recently? And I'm not even looking for it. I'm not even looking for it anymore. No, you're not perfect. Trump might not be your guy, but literally, what other option do you have? Biden doesn't have long to live. Nobody, not even the people that let Harris in there, want that woman running the country either. we have some other hopefuls that I see out there, and some that I think people are really are hopeful, but I don't see them as that. I kind of see him like the Ted Cruz. Like, yeah, I like him, but there's still stuff out there that just makes you look at him and like, nah, you're just not better. You're still a politician, a long-time politician, even though you are and have been trying to fight for politicians not having more than three terms or something, just like a president, or different than that. Anyways, it's very funny because you never get through it, so it just keeps you as being a politician. And I'm pretty sure you're Texan, and I don't believe even among at this point I don't even know what is different, left or right. It doesn't matter. Even among the left and the right, so that pretty much covers most people, because there's a lot of people like me that aren't left and aren't right, because that's not what I'm basing my decisions off of. I'm basing my decisions off of God. And get me wrong, I haven't found a Democrat yet that I would have supported over a Republican at the time. Somehow I believe that even though he supported the troops really good, but it was kind of like when Saddam, before the war, not the Gulf War, but he did the same thing in the Gulf War. He just printed up a bunch of fake currency and just gave it out to his troops. Billions of dollars in Iraqi dinars. It's crazy. And he was just giving it out to them, and they're just like, it wasn't the same dinar that was the legal currency known to the world. So it was basically just fake money. So I believe not even so much that Bush was the problem, which he was, because he was just trying to convince Daddy that he could do something that he didn't do, because, well, high and mighty Bush Sr., you know? Well, that's my opinion. Hey, look, Dad, I went into Iraq and you couldn't. And then Cheney, who owns everything that has to do with blowing up shit, took a bunch of other people's designs and made a lot of money off of it. And then a lot of people lost their lives. Not compared to how many people actually die every year in this country from heroin and opiate overdoses and car crashes and gun violence, inner city, everywhere. No, I'm just, it's not just inner city, it's gun violence. Because you always leave that amendment in there. The right to protect your family. That's all it really says. And why it doesn't say bear guns, it says bear arms. Anything that you can use to defend your family. Not only from the bad guys, but the presumed good guys. So please, understand this. If you think just because she's a female that she has to be better, then if you're not open to realizing what she hasn't been known forever, and the stuff we're now trying to prosecute Trump for, or was having classified documents that he, as president, legal, little shady, legal for him to do, is declassify documents. Yeah. How come no presidents declassified the JFK stuff all the way? Still haven't done it. Still, because they're still blacking out that stuff. You guys don't understand. They can't do that with a computer because then everything's AI now. So they can't do it with a computer.